marbles, and speaking of Pantones, before I touch on this, the marble trend for me still blends really well with this, and it's one of the trends that's not only staying because it's been around for a while now, but I feel like it's, marble kind of did that, but I feel like now it's going up even higher. Like instead of doing simple toned down marbles, it's becoming strong, like super contrast marbles. And I feel like when you look back at the 70s and the 80s and the way they use marbles, you go to old school houses and it's like this pink marble in the bathroom, and 10 years ago we're like, oh, what is this pink marble? Now you're like, it's kind of cool, right? It's like that harsh kind of invasive marble is coming back, whether it's like a strong black and white marble. You see a lot, that panda marble is happening a lot. Coffee tables, kitchens, bathrooms. For me, I'm like, give me a strong powder room, like a powder room with a striking marble, bringing in those metallics, bringing in that drama, works so well. Speaking of drama, Viva Magenta. So Viva Magenta is the next big trend. It's the Pantone color of the year. For me, I feel like it's kind of, Valentino had this bright Valentino pink the last week. You're like matching so well with this. The Valentino pink was like everywhere and like all the brands are doing it. So I feel like it's kind of in that same vibe. But every year Pantone introduces the color of the year, and it's this big thing in terms of design. Everyone's like, oh, it's the color of the year. It's very rare that I see that color of the year becoming a major trend and everyone using it. I feel like it doesn't happen, So I'm like, I wanted to bring this up for discussion. How many of you would say, I'm obsessed with this Viva Magenta, I have to have it, I'm adding it into the interiors? You would? I saw your face! I saw your face! Your face like lit up, you're like, would you use it? You would use it.
My entire home decor is now white and white.
Okay.
So I keep changing colors
Okay.
as per season. So I would definitely.
This would be your pop of color you'd bring in. I love that.
With the flowers and pillow covers.
I feel like you need a picture with this color today though.
I feel like that red's very different to that red. Yeah. That's more
So
like deeper
it's
maroon.
slightly deeper maroon.
That I can vibe with.
Right?
That is a bit like, whoa.
So this is more the accurate color, because on screen colors change slightly, and I was like, that's where I feel like I could use a hue of this, like a darker tone of that more than I would in the brightness of it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people ask like, oh, it's like the color of the year. I'm not going to paint my wall this color. I'm not going to paint a piece of furniture this color, but I want to incorporate it. I want to, like you said, add accessory pillows. So that's a big question, right? There are other ways that you can incorporate a Pantone color without going like with a bucket and like splashing your home, right? So at Sadar, there's so many beautiful fabrics that highlight these kind of pink colors where you're like, okay, I could do an accent pillow, I could do a chair, I could do an accent chair. That way I'm incorporating that Pantone. But look how well it blends with other colors. So like you said, if you had an off-white cream sofa, it works great. Maybe you want to add a kind of like greeny, like a natural green to it to take that overly strong color to it. Or you can add softer tones, grays, to kind of tone it down. So like if you had this color palette, it would blend really well with that. You could still have the pop of color, but just like we said about the kind of rusty orange, you need to do it well, so it doesn't look like you just went to a store, picked up this color, threw it in your room, and people are like, what is that? What is that? What is going on? So here's another example of it, where like different hues of it, different colors of it, you don't always have to stick to the exact Pantone. It's more of a mood, right? It's the pinks, it's the kind of magentas, it's the warmer pink color. So it can blend in so many different ways. And it's funny how they always kind of lean towards like a soft green, that it's a really nice combination. I could do that. I could do it. I'm not a colorful person, but I could do this as an accent chair, you know, with a nice environment. And then here we have the Missoni wallpaper book, which has so many little accents of that color. Of course, Missoni is super colorful, super over the top. And what I love about the wallpaper here at Sidar is that they have Missoni, but you can do it in a much softer way. You know, you could do the print, you could do the character, let's say, of Missoni. Like this is a Missoni wallpaper you see over here. That my first thought is like, oh wow, imagine like a teenage girl like having this. I was like, does it have to be a teenage girl? Could it be me? I could do that. I could have it like a little, you know, if it was like a column or like a pop near a desk, you know, in an office, something cool, something vibrant. And then it ranges, look at that. So like Missoni doesn't have to be like that wall. You know, it doesn't have to be over the top. It doesn't have to be in a strong way. And it's a wallpaper that I never thought when I first walked in, I was like, oh, you guys have Missoni wallpaper? Okay, and I kind of walked on. And then when I started opening it, they were like, no, but you have much softer, much calmer, but it brings character. So I feel like the Missoni wallpaper that they carry brings character to a space more than what we would think Missoni would do. We think it's overpowering, it's too much, it's too flashy, but it can be done in really subtle ways. And here again, you can incorporate that Pantone color in a soft way.